Good afternoon, everybody. Not quite evening yet. Can we count 25 past 4 as the evening? I think it's probably got to hit at least 5 o'clock. Phoenix hits differently on a Friday. Do you know what? I like Friday deadlines for real life. I like the fact I don't have to get up tomorrow and stream, but I hate it for just pure FPL. I'd love to have another night to think about my moves, although I'm not sure it would actually change anything. I'm probably going to do Rodgers to Tara and keep Slot, I think, rather than take a hit. But not sure. Doing Slot for a hit to Arteta just doesn't feel great. And I'm not convinced by any of the table bonus managers. I think I'm going to stick with him. Also, I've just realised I've got Trent on the bench, and I'm not so sure I'm meant to do that. I'm going to play Trent, I think. There you go. So potentially, right, if I can get to Sunday at 4:30 p.m. with a green arrow, then I've got Slot, Salah, Captain, and Trent, and I should just get a green arrow, which would be pretty nice. Boring, yes, thank you. Pretty much someone says that every single week. So if anything, the boring message is quite boring right now. Like I said, someone says it every single week, no matter what move I go for. Jimmy, who do I bench out of Watkins, Visser, Semenyo, or Cliver? Probably Visser? Maybe Semenyo? One of those two. Wolves at home is a pretty good fixture. Maybe I think I had Semenyo above Visser on bench and headaches, but I'm not actually sure. Leicester are really bad. Yeah, one of Visser or Semenyo. Maybe I'd play Visser. Ask me again in half an hour and I'll probably change my mind. Gone for Hertz or assistant manager, being boring but rather get good points than risk it and possibly get none. Yeah, I think it's fair. It's quite interesting how much people's views on trying to chase points change in different ways of FPL. With the assistant manager, you've got to go for the table bonus. You've got to chase. All right, that's the whole point of the assistant managership. But everyone triple captain Salah, and that's pretty much the safest thing you can ever do, right? So why do you have to go different with the assistant managership? I mean, it's perfectly fine to chase table bonus, and I understand, with triple captain you get the same points for goals, assists, no matter who you are. But it's also okay just to go boring if you want, Most of the time, I've said this many times in the past, when people say that moving's boring, that usually means it's probably going to get points. Seb's done his moves. Emery to Glasner, nice, and Gakpo to Cunha. First -4 of the season, like it. If we've already got a Bournemouth midfielder, would you chop Rodgers still? I think Bournemouth midfielder is still better than Rodgers, yes, no matter how many you've already got. Am I sure I'm not making a mistake benching Mykolenko? I'm never really sure of anything, to be honest. It could be a mistake. I'm a little bit tempted to bench Trent, but I think I'm probably just going to play him. Bench Visser or Dango. I would probably play Dango. Start two of Mykolenko, Munoz, and Rodgers. I'd probably play Rodgers and Mykolenko, I think. Sell Gordon to Mbeumo for a -4 or hold. I'd probably hold. Play Mykolenko over House as I've got Cunha. Yeah, that's probably fair. Yeah, I think it's close enough between those two. Glasner's confirmed Eze is fit to start. Glasner also said that Eze wasn't going to be in the squad not too long ago. Then he was on the bench. But surely assistant manager Glasner is the way to go. Sure, yeah. I mean, he's probably the best table bonus manager. I don't think Crystal Palace are more likely to beat Fulham than Arsenal are to beat West Ham. Rodgers to Trossard, Slot to Arteta -4. Rodgers to Trossard is a pretty nice move. Slot to Arteta -4. I'm probably not going to do that, but you absolutely could if you wanted to. I feel Mbeumo might explode. He could do, yeah. Leicester away. I'm still not sure I'd take a hit for Gordon, though. Good. I'll tell you what, assistant manager, it's like... I guess with all chips, it's always popular topic of conversation, but it feels like that's all we've talked about all week is assistant manager. I guess it is quite big points-wise. Start Flecken or Kepper. Wolves at Kepper, for sure. I've got Moyes right now. Do I take a -4 to get him out? God, I don't know. Honestly, right now, I'm not sure Man United would be favourites for that game. There's no table bonus. That's the problem, though, right? Moyes just doesn't have table bonus. I'd be tempted to take a hit to move him on. When is the next best time to activate Assistant Manager? Probably 31, 33, because you're likely to have back-to-back double game weeks again. What if Salah blanks? Then you get no points. What if all my players blank? Emery to Glasner for -4. Yeah, again, it's quite a close call. If you want to take the hit, that's absolutely fine. Stuck with Allison and Kinski, goalkeeper options until 29. How have you ended up on Allison and Kinski? Goalkeeper options, I'd probably go Kepa till 29, I think. Or Raya for Arsenal. The informed players and the assistant managers don't go well at all this week. There's always a downside to your team. Not sure what you mean. I have too much to sort if I want to avoid free hit 29, so just going to keep Emery. It's kind of the same position I'm in. I don't have the extra transfer. Like, Rodgers to Tara, I think. It's worth saying that Iraola said that Evan Nilsson could be back soon. So Utara does become a little bit more of a worry, but I think for 5.1 million, I'm just going to risk it. Will I ever take Nottingham Forest seriously? What about my team is not taking Nottingham Forest seriously? Bench Wanyeri or Semenyo Wanyeri. 3 to start out of Trent, Kirkes, Munoz. You've got to start Gabriel. Kirkes Wolves at home. I think you play him as well. And then Castagna or Trent. I'd probably play Trent. I feel like you are really relying on attacking returns with Trent this week. I think they will concede. Which means, as a slot owner, I'm hoping that Liverpool score at least twice. Robinson or Munoz. I go the guy at home. Thoughts on Captain and Burmo? Nice differential. I think there's... The only reason I've gone back to Salah is basically what I said in the team selection video. I just can't get all that excited about any of the other picks. Like, they're all... Like, in Burmo, Palmer, Isak, they're all fine for captaincy. Are they standout, though, over Salah? Like, next week, I'm going to go against Salah. I'm going to go Palmer next week against Southampton at home. Unless Palmer's a doubt for whatever reason. But this week, I don't know. Then again, if they are all good options, and I don't think that Salah is, like, the obvious standout, it might be worth taking the punt on someone else. I'm just going to play it safe, I think. The mother of all benching headaches need help. Come on. Like, you can't put Salah in a benching headache. Come on. Come on. I would bench Vissa or Semenyo. Yeah, either of those two is probably fine with the rest of your team. Gakpo to Cunha and bench Rodgers or bench Gakpo and roll. I'd probably do Gakpo to Cunha. Seems like a pretty good move. That's a ban. I'm not sure about a ban. I have said before I won't. Maybe I shouldn't answer questions about benching headaches when you put someone like Salah in there. At this point in the season, you might have to change the name of your team to playing safe. I could just change it to trying to get the most points possible. I guess would be a very similar name. Gakpo to Cunha for a -4 would mean benching Rodgers. I'd probably just play Rodgers, unless you're almost certainly going to have to take that hit anyway to figure out game week 29. But otherwise, I just roll, I think. Bench one of Rodgers or Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe started the last game, didn't it? I can't even remember if he's been starting recently. It was all the rage at the start of the season. Yeah, 81. Yeah, he's been starting quite regularly. I'd probably start Smith Rowe, although I've got to be honest, by the time I looked at the minutes, I can't even remember who the other player was in that equation. It was someone in Smith Rowe. I think Smith Rowe, but I can't remember who the other player was. Iwobi over Mateta? No. Is Salah the best captain or Isak? It's probably Salah. It usually is, but Isak's a fine alternative. Fulham top of defensive stats for the last 6 games. I think people are on. I think the assistant manager chip is making people think differently to like basically what I'm trying to say badly. If the assistant manager chip didn't exist, and I asked people to tell me who's going to win, make their predictions for game week 26 for who's going to win, I suspect everyone would go Arsenal win, and I think a lot more people would probably go Fulham win or draw. And I get it, right? There's a gamble there because it's table bonus. I get it, right? If Palace win, it's huge points. You're not just making a simple prediction. But I think people are underestimating Arsenal somehow, and I think they're also underestimating Fulham a little bit. I probably would still go Palace. Yeah, I'm not trying to talk people out of going Palace whatsoever. That is probably who I would go for. If I was going for a table bonus team this week, it would be Glasner. Because I just wouldn't trust Leicester and Ipswich. I just think Fulham are being a little bit underrated. I think they're pretty strong this year. Do I think Palace can keep a clean sheet away to Fulham? Probably not. Who to bench, Rodgers or Raul Jimenez? Rodgers, I think. And take a -4 for McKenna? Probably not. Did I ever work in... No. Also underestimating Liverpool. Who is? Oh, because people are moving slot on. Isn't that why assistant manager is a great chip? I think I don't particularly like it really, but it's fine, I guess. Can't wait to get my 0.8 million back. I can't wait to get my 1.5 million back. Also, I realise if I do Rodgers to Utara this week, I'm probably not going to take a punt on Nkunku, and that might be a good thing. Because there's no one I'd want to sell for Nkunku. I couldn't sell... I don't think I could sell Wanieri after I've just bought him in. Yeah, get a result from the game. But how confident are you that Palace will get a win? Probably not that confident, right? Not sure how much money people would put on it. I appreciate gambling with a chip in a fantasy game is not the same as putting your own money on it, but still. And again, like to reiterate, I would go for Glasner. If you're chasing table bonus, that is who I would go for this week. Bench one from Utara, Cunha or Wood. Probably... Cunha or Wood. Probably Cunha. I suspect you've just brought him in though, haven't you? 2 weeks assistant manager, Wolves 2. Yeah, I quite like Wolves. Who was the other one? Wolves and Palace. I quite like Palace as well. Because you get a table bonus this week and then next week you don't, but it's a home game. Yeah, I think Wolves for 26 and 27 is quite nice. And just hope they can get something against Bournemouth. I'm not sure how much I would bet on that, though. Bench one, Semenyo, Utara, Watkins, Wood, Isak. Probably Semenyo. Definitely Semenyo, actually. Gambling on FPL is way more important than sticking my money on it. Well, absolutely. And also, you don't lose as much. Have you noticed defenders' attacking stats are nowhere near last year's and nowhere near midfielders and attacking stats? Not being near midfielders is fair enough. I mean, Trent's attacking numbers are still really good. Gabriel's goal threat is still pretty good. I don't think they are that massively down. I got to bench one of Trent, Robinson, or Howson. I'd probably bench Howson, probably. Gordon or Rodgers. Gordon. If not going for table bonus, surely Gjertsås is the best because you can try and make the most out of the weak Southampton team. Yeah, but Arsenal are at home. So I think Arteta's probably better. Jimenez in Burma from -4 or Cunha Rodgers no hit. Cunha Rodgers no hit probably. Thoughts on Bournemouth midfield captain? It's fine, but the problem is with captaining a Bournemouth player this week is the ones with the best open play threat don't have penalties. So like Kluivert's got penalties, but he's probably the weakest from open play. I know he literally got a hat trick not too long ago from open play against Newcastle, but the numbers aren't that great for him. So like I think it's hard to really go for a Bournemouth midfielder over like an Mbeumo, Isak or Salah. Welbeck or Trossard for differential captain? Probably Trossard. I do quite like Welbeck this week. I don't know. There's part of me that thinks I should just know by now that Welbeck's basically nailed. I think every time he's been fit, he's pretty much started. So he will start, I'm sure, against Southampton. It's just about how many minutes he gets. Whereas Arsenal are at home. Trossard has to get good minutes right now. They just don't have any other options. I'd probably go Trossard between the two. Wanyeri for Ahmad or Visser for Gakpo / João Pedro. I'd rather have Visser than Wanyeri. And like, you're going to have to deal with all of those players eventually anyway, so I'd probably just get Visser. Trade Rodgers to Mbeumo or Njai to Cunha. Visser, Mbeumo, I think. Unsure how to plan ahead. Got 7 players blanking in 29. Should I roll and accept some hits in 29 or just free hit 29? What's the better plan? I actually think it's quite hard to know for sure right now. I think both strategies can work. Yeah, I mean, if you've got Palace if you've got lots of Palace and Newcastle players, then maybe you lean more towards free hit 29. If you don't, I'd probably just play through it. Especially if you've got like a few transfers to manage it. Because that will obviously play a part as well. Can you bench boost if you've got assistant manager activated? No. How will I fund Haaland? I'd have to sell Palmer or Salah. I mean, I can do it without selling them, but it gets a bit messy. I've got to sell like Isak and Watkins and Trent, and I probably just don't have the transfers to do it. Is Gakpo out long term? No, he might even be available for the City game. But I still think I'd get rid. The problem with Gakpo is, in my opinion, there's no guarantee he gets a start this week, and you really need him to get good minutes against Southampton. That's not guaranteed. Lots of Rodgers out, but if he overcomes Villa's horrible post-midweek game record, don't quite get it. Yeah. I mean, sure. Like, so you're saying if Villa do good, Rodgers will do good? Yeah. Sure. Or they might not, and he might not, right? Like, Rodgers is fine to hold, but if you've got the transfers, Bournemouth players are better, right? That's all it kind of comes down to. Why is João Pedro benched? Because I think he's going to get benched by Hertzler. Do you keep transfers after playing free hit? Yes, same as wildcard. Rank the 3 Bournemouth midfielders. It depends how long you need to hold on to them for, but I think it's probably Kluivert, Semenyo, and then Utara. Just because Evan Nielsen could be back soon. I'm still going to buy Utara because that's all I can afford. I don't have any more money. I'm just going to risk it. And there's no guarantee that he comes out of the team once Evan Nielsen is back. His minutes almost certainly will go down, but he doesn't necessarily come out of the team. Like, he could play wide and just get subbed earlier. He could just keep playing through the middle. Maybe Areola will just think we're playing well without Evan Nielsen. I'll just use him as a sub. Watkins to Cunha for a -4. No way I would do that. I wouldn't understand that one at all. Bench one of Trent, Munoz or Robinson. Munoz. Think I'll be going safe with slot to Arteta. Nice. Eze to Mbeumo for no hit if you have. I mean, Mbeumo's better than Eze, yeah. Although, to be fair, Eze is going to start, according to Glasner. The next 2 fixtures are pretty good afterwards. You could keep hold of him. I'd rather have Mbeumo, so I don't mind that transfer. But Eze's okay to hold on to for now, I think. Is Wanyeri worth it for -4? It depends who you're selling. Utara or Wanyeri? Utara for me. Semenyo or Cunha? Probably Cunha in isolation. AZ, how's it going? 79 points awful, including assistant manager. Fell to 250k. Decided to attack. Went Pereira manager and already regret it. Ouch. Can you tell me something good about it besides table bonus? I don't know. I can't really. I mean, I understand why people are going for Pereira for 26 and 27 because you got table bonus twice. But I mean, again, it comes back to what I was saying earlier about Fulham and Palace and underrating them. Like, I see the merit in going for Pereira this week and next because of table bonus twice, but also I think Bournemouth just win this week. I've literally gone for Bournemouth in last man standing this week. I couldn't go Arsenal. That's where most people have gone. I actually took Arsenal last week instead of Villa. Hoping Bournemouth stinks, same as Brighton earlier this season against Southampton. Everyone went for João Pedro then. Please don't remind me about that. It's been awful. Is it even worth transferring out Emery as effectively a -4 as I'm not free hitting 29? Possibly not. It's a similar situation to Slot. I'd put it... This is kind of where I'm at with it. If you think Slot or Emery can get at least a draw, if you think it's likely they get at least a draw, you probably don't take the hit. That's kind of where I'm at. I might have that wrong, but that's kind of how I'm feeling it. Liam, bench 1, Palmer, Imbermo, Cunha, Visser, Kluivert, Utara. Probably Visser. Again, no. So if you've... Thing is, people with Cunha, surely you've only just bought him. And so if you have to now bench him, there was no point in buying him. I don't think I could bench Kluivert or Utara against Wolves. Visser's got Leicester, but Cunha's got penalties. But Bournemouth's a tougher fixture than Leicester. I'm going to say Cunha bench behind Visser, but I'm not 100% sure about that. It does feel wrong to bench Cunha, got to be honest, considering he's on penalties. I don't have free hit and triple captain available. What would be the better strategy? Use transfers for 29, wildcard in 30, and AM 31 to 33. Or 2, use transfers till 29, bench boost 33, and wildcard 34. Well, I mean, that really depends on how well you're... Like, it's not something I'm going to be able to do on a deadline stream, but I need to see the team and how it plays through the next few weeks. Like, do you have enough transfers to manage 29 and 30 to 33 and get a bench boost out? Because if not, you're probably better off wildcarding and then just taking a few hits along the... Like, either way, you're going to have to take hits at some point. So if your team's okay for 29, then maybe reassessing game week 30 whether you can... Basically, in your case, you probably just play through 29 and then just wait until you get the info for 33 and 34 and then decide what to do. But my gut feeling would be that you wildcard in 30, probably, and assistant manager 31 to 33. Any closer to captain? I'm going to captain Salah. I'm pretty locked in on that. Play Munoz and Robinson or start Aït-Nouri or Hall. Robinson and Hall, I think, out of those two. Am I bottling going different with the captain? Yes, I guess so. I'm going back to Salah. I did say that on team selection that I might just go back for him. I think I said that anyway. Gakpo to Cunha -4. I have Haaland and Raul Jimenez. Who are you benching, though, if you bring Cunha in? Like, if it's a -4 for Cunha to bench Rodgers, for example, I'd just play Rodgers. Best assistant manager 26-27, currently on slot, not chasing. Pereira, if you want to risk it against Bournemouth this week, he's got table bonus next week as well. Or Glasner, table bonus this week, then a home game against Villa. I think in some ways I actually prefer Glasner. Do I think Palace are more likely to get a result against Fulham than Wolves versus Bournemouth? Possibly. Maybe I'm overrating Bournemouth a little bit, though. All the players people have still have good fixtures in 30 and 31. Most of them, yeah. Say Palmer blanks again, do you sell? No. No. Honestly, I've said this before, like, I'm spending literally, apart from having to create content and talk about it, I'm spending precisely 0 seconds thinking about selling Palmer. If he blanks this week and he looks awful, I'll just keep him because it's Southampton at home. Like, what do you need the money for? I don't really understand what people need the cash for right now, to be honest. I mean, I say that. I can only afford Utara. I can't get to Kluivert, right? So it'd be nice to have a bit more money, or Semenyo, but it's negligible, really. Wolves concede 2 per game. Bournemouth score a lot. Why not gamble on Utara or Kluivert as captain? Because Salah's pretty good. Yeah, City defence is not all that great this season. Plus Salah and Liverpool are just very good. I think Bournemouth players are good, though, this week, for sure. The thing is, I kind of always want to always want to captain a penalty taker most of the time. And Kluivert just doesn't excite me as a captain. And I don't own him. Iriola good as assistant manager this week. He is, but I think I prefer Arteta. I said that, I think, back on Monday's video. I mean, you could argue Hertzler is just as good as Iriola as well. Bench start one of Raul Jimenez or Cunha. Still have assistant manager. When would be the next time to use it? Probably 31 to 33 for most people. Can you please give David Cameron, not the ex-Prime Minister, a shout out? There you go. Just done it. Love and appreciate content. Thank you very much. Raul Jimenez has got the better fixture, but I'd probably go Cunha just because he's like guaranteed 90. And I do like that. Kanate to Mikalenko. And Emery to Arteta for -8. No, I don't think so. Last year, Arsenal lost 2-0. Yeah. But it's not last year, it's this year. I mean, it could happen again, but like you can say that for every team, right? Here's the thing. Go and find out for me what the result was between Fulham at home to Palace last year. Should we commit to a chip strategy or wait until 28? It's good to commit when you can, but I don't think most people are in a position where they have to commit right now, I would say. Because like I'm doing Rodgers to Utara, and Utara plays in 29 and he's good afterwards. So I still could potentially free hit 29, although Ranieri and Utara's long-term minutes are questionable. And the fact you can roll up to 5 transfers also helps you just delay as well. Nick, that can't be a serious question. There's no way you're thinking of doing that. Cliver or Utara out for a hit to get Ranieri. You're not really thinking of doing that. Bench 1. Again, I'm not sure I should answer questions benching players that include Salah. There should be a rule. There has to be a rule on the channel now. No, I would not bench Salah, surprisingly. I would bench... So Isak, Watkins, Chris Wood, Cliver, Palmer, and Burmo, Ranieri, Salah. Probably Ranieri out of those. I was tempted to say Chris Wood, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to face the backlash. 1 free transfer and on slot for assistant manager, Salah captain and Trent. If I use the free transfer, I can still get to 11 by 29. Would you roll the transfer or move slot? I'd probably move. Like obviously, you could get into a position where injuries happen and you don't have the transfers to fix it. But I'd be tempted to move if you've got the spare transfer. Like if I already had Utara instead of Rodgers, I think I probably would move slot on for free. Which 2 to bench? Munoz, Kanate, Hall, or Robinson? Which 2? I'd play Lewis Hall and Robinson, I think. Game week 26, Ranieri and Kunku, Watkins to Marmoush for a hit. No. Like, definitely not. You're taking a hit to remove Watkins versus Chelsea home to get Marmoush before Liverpool, to take out Ranieri's got West Ham, to get in Kunku before Villa away. I mean, Kunku could be better, but hell no. No, I would not take out a Bournemouth midfielder for a hit. Thoughts on Trent and Kanate double up versus City? It's fine depending on what your other options are. Will, 18 months, thank you. Happy Friday to you too. First bench slot, Rodgers or Mikalenko. I'd play Rodgers over Mikalenko. I'm not sure. Oh, first bench slot. Yeah, sorry. I was thinking Arna slot. The assistant managership has got me confused. Yeah, I'd play Rodgers over Mikalenko. Play 3, Gabriel, Munoz, Mikalenko, Hall, or Reina. Hall, Gabriel, definitely. And then I'm going to say Munoz. Close between him and Mikalenko. Rodgers had 2 goals cleared off the line. He's not a -4. Yeah, I've kind of come to that same conclusion. Would you have done Rodgers to Ranieri if you had Clivert and didn't have Ranieri? I'd probably do Rodgers to Utara still. And just go double Bournemouth. Should I bench Rodgers or Delap? Rodgers. Do I think Palace can keep a clean sheet away to Fulham? I mean, they can. Do I think it's likely? Not really. Slot to Arteta and Rodgers. Slot to Arteta and Rodgers to Clivert or Bruno to Mbermo. Rodgers to Clivert, I think. Am I tempted to take a punt on assistant manager from the Hall from table bonus? There is a temptation, but I'm probably not going to do it. It'd be a -4 to go to Glasner. Probably not going to do it. Do I bring in Maddison or Mbermo? Yeah, definitely Mbermo. You might get this super chat a lot, but what is your chip strategy? It's probably wildcard 30-31. I don't have triple captain or assistant manager left, so wildcard 30 or 31, probably 31, and then bench boost 33, free hit 34. I will say though, that strategy worries me quite a lot because I suspect I will talk myself into going without Salah, and that could just end my season very quickly. But we'll see. No, I won't tell Julia that. Would you go from slot to Glasner for free? I would move slot on for free. I wouldn't necessarily go to... like. basically, if you want to go table bonus, I go Glasner. If you want to play it safe, boring, whatever you want to call it, I'd go Arteta. But yes, I probably would move Slot if I had the spare transfer. I'm actually, I feel a little bit behind on my team right now. I think my team looks pretty good at the moment. Not perfect, but it's okay. But I've seen a lot of people rolling that already have like 1 or 2 transfers spare. Bit jealous. Whereas I'm using one this week, I'm probably going to use another one next week. Comfortable with my midfielders now, but no transfers available. Isak, João Pedro, Gakpo forwards. Who to start with Isak? I'd probably start João Pedro because I don't think either are likely to start, and he's got the better fixture. I'd use a transfer if you can. Bench 1, Mikalenko, Munoz, Nico. Who's Nico? Like Nico Williams. Colwell, I've got Pickford. Colwell, Villa away. Bench 1, Nico Williams, Newcastle away. I'd probably play Mikalenko, Munoz, and Colwell, I guess. Don't really like that. I don't see Colwell keeping a clean sheet. I just assume you've got Isak, which is why I wouldn't necessarily play Nico Williams, unless Nico's someone else. Bench Sharda or Marmoush. Sharda against Leicester. Feels wrong. I think I'd play Marmoush. Palmer or Wood. I'd play Palmer. Konza or Konate to play this week. Konza or Konate. City away. I'd probably play Konza. He's fit at the moment. No, hang on. Is he even fit right now? I got a bit lost with... Yeah, Konza's a doubt, isn't he? What did Unai Emery say about him today? I did see Unai Emery. I did see some stuff come out from Unai Emery's... No, Konza should start, I think. I'd probably play Konza. If he's fit, he's probably going to start. Emery or Glasner? Glasner, I think. Would you start Lewis Hall over Munoz or Trent? I'd start him over Munoz. Honestly, I suspect after this weekend we're going to say, why didn't we just bench Trent? But I'd probably play Trent over Hall, I think. I'm not super convinced. I feel like the name and the amount of points he's had in the past is making me think I've got to play Trent. Okay, Konza's in contention. Nice. So he probably starts, or it seems unlikely he's on the bench and comes on. Not impossible, I suppose. How bad is Harden's injury? Well, bad enough that he didn't play in a must-win game against Real Madrid. Pep Guardiola said they're going to make a last-minute call, I think. But I don't know. He probably will play, I guess. But there is some doubt there. 2 free transfers. Thoughts on Slot to McKenna versus Spurs? Personally, I'd rather go for Glasner or Arteta, but I would move Slot on if I had the spare transfer. Can't decide Visser or Palmer. Palmer, -4, Rodgers 2, and Burma, or start Rutter, Colwell. I'd probably start Rutter. He should start, I think. And it's Southampton. Save the -4. My wildcard has gone from 30 to 31 and now 35. Yeah, 35 is worth considering, but I think most people that wildcard 35 are probably going to free hit 29, right? And if it's not free hit 29, then there's no need to decide on whether you're wildcard in 35 right now, I would assume, because most of the players you're buying now are probably quite good for 30, 31 anyway. Start Mikalenko or Munoz. It feels wrong to bench Munoz because he has got such good, genuine attacking threat. But Mikalenko's probably got the better fixture. I'd probably play Munoz because I just think he's got a goal in him. Stick or twist Slot if it likely means a hit for 29. I've decided to stick. But it might work out the hit. I think it's a really close call. Rodgers to Utara, Enzo to Wanieri, Gakpo to Visser. They all sound pretty good to me. Predictions on what manager has the biggest points this week? Arteta, probably. Maybe Glasner. Could you tell me your thoughts on captaining Kluivert? I'm just not the biggest fan. I just think outside of penalties, he's not that exciting. Like, he's fine. He can get your returns, but captaincy just feels like a step too far. Emery to Arteta or Hold. If you've got the spare transfer, I would do it. What is a bonus chip idea that you have or have heard that is your absolute favourite? And what is your absolute favourite chip from the past years? To be honest with you, there haven't been that many good chips that are not still in play. Like all-out attack was terrible. So for anyone that doesn't know what that is, basically you could play 2-5-3. It was pretty rubbish. Yeah, otherwise, I don't really know other chips. Limitless is always the one that people mention. Like 2 captains. They're probably all fine. Nothing to get too excited about, probably. Did I know that Watkins used to play for Western Supermare? I did, yes. I think he was on loan, right? Or am I completely wrong about that? Yeah, all out attack was really bad. There's been no other chips, I don't think. I think all the other chips are still currently in play. Who would double in 33? Probably like Bournemouth, Man United. Any team that gets through to the FA Cup semi-final, basically, plus their opponents. Man City. And if Man City double, so would... Can't remember now. Villa. Maybe Newcastle as well, possibly. They could have back-to-back doubles. In which case, there's going to be a lot of Eddie Howe, assistant manager, later on. Can't see Arsenal coming away with 3 points. Not seeing that Arsenal attack really scoring. We'll see. Is Mbeumo captain too much of a risk? Not really. I think he's pretty good this week. Howson, Trent, Robinson and Munoz drop 1. Probably Munoz. Between him and Trent. What is the percentage probability that both teams will... Don't ask me maths questions. I don't know. I look on Rob T's graphics, the guy that does all the bookmakers odds graphics. Liverpool are down as 1.9 projected goals, and City are down at 1.65. So I guess that's quite a high percentage that both teams will score, and they're both under 20% for clean sheets. So someone who's a math genius will work that out. That math genius is not me. I did play a couple of games of chess the other day, though. Not that you have to be a math genius to play chess. And I'm up to a massive 194 rating now. So, Grandmaster could be on. Is it Grandmaster? Is that what GM is? I don't even know if I've got the right terminology. Going to be a killer when Wood scores a hat-trick in 29 against Greaves. I might have Chris Wood by then. Help with this, please. I've got 1 free transfer, 0.9. I've got Ahmad, Jab, Hedger, Caldwell, Greaves, and Slot. Thinking if Ahmad to Utara, Clover, but already have Semenyo. Yeah, that's fine. Honestly, doubling up on Bournemouth midfielders is absolutely fine, especially if you're not free hitting 29. They're good just the whole way through. I'd keep Slot. I'd rather make the player move. Just chess.com. 2 of is that Milenkovic? Yeah, to House and Eze to Mbeumo, Slot to Arteta. I'd probably go... I mean, Eze's probably going to start, so Slot to Arteta and Milenkovic to Howson, probably. $194 in chess, you start at 800. There you go. That tells you how good I am. Triple captain's an awful chip. Sure. I wouldn't care if they got rid of it, to be honest. You once played Salah in chess online. Don't know if it was really him. He does play chess. I think he said that on an interview with the Premier League or FPL once. Would you buy Kepa for Fabianski to bench Alisson and also be prepared for blank game with 29? Maybe with a free transfer, yes, but I wouldn't go out of my way to worry about Alisson. He's all right for the next 3. I guess you have to think about it at some point, though. So, sure, why not this week if you got the spare move? Rodgers to Wanieri, just got Rodgers in for the double, so feels wrong. I think it's okay to sell Rodgers. Can't believe your rank at one point you thought your season was over. I was kind of joking about my season being over because basically for the first 8 to 10 game weeks, because there's so many active managers, a lot of them don't stick around, but they're all ahead of you, so you get so many comments about how bad your season's going and I've done this, you should have done this. So I'm just kind of playing along with that, really. It did feel really bad, though, after game week 9. It was like 2.3 million after I used my triple captain on Haaland. But you know who saved the day? Bruno Fernandes. What a legend. Actually, two things. To be fair, I can't just put it all down to Bruno Fernandes. It was Bruno Fernandes and selling Haaland for Salah in Game Week 10. That kind of turned it around. Then all those Salah captaincies just absolutely smashed it. Who to start, Flecken or Pickford? Probably Pickford. Bench one of... I don't know, actually. Let me just... What's the clean sheet? 29. It's pretty close. I'd say Pickford. Bench one of... I know it feels wrong to like play the guy playing Man United and not the one playing Leicester, but honestly, Pickford's at home. Slot for Ruud van Nistelrooy, -4, what you said. I just don't think I can trust Leicester. And I've got a lot of faith in Burma and Vissa, especially. Bench one of Cunha, Utara, Trossard, or Cole. Oh, Cole Palmer, Cunha. Again, Cunha, yeah, probably Cunha. Kirkes to bench Van Dijk or Roll. Kirkes is a pretty good buy, I would say, for not free hitting 29. So again, if you've got the spare transfers, absolutely fair enough. Thoughts on Garnacho for the upcoming Ipswich and Leicester fixtures instead of a second Bournemouth midfielder? Wildcarding 30 anyway. Don't mind it. He has to play basically at the moment. But just bearing in mind that Man United are playing Arsenal in between, like Bournemouth's fixtures are just better. So I don't mind the punt on Garnacho, but I don't think I could sit here and tell you he's better than Bournemouth. But if you're looking for a punt, then I don't mind Garnacho at all. Like if you're looking for a genuine punt. But yeah, Bournemouth fixtures are just better, I would say. No Arsenal, a big factor for that. Emery and Gakpo to Glasner and Cunha -4. Again, I don't know if you need the Emery to Glasner -4, but overall, don't mind it at all. I don't really watch Joe Rogan, to be honest, so I've not seen that interview. I've seen, put it this way, the reason that I've played a few games of chess recently is because my algorithm on YouTube Shorts is just so much chess stuff. Like basically, I watch chess videos and I've got no idea what they're talking about. Like I understand the basic rules, I know what the pieces do, but that like they just talk so fast about letters and numbers, and I still watch it even though I got no idea. Like on he does e5 to e4, and then that's going to mean that this guy does b5 to b6 or whatever it is. I've got no idea, but I still watch it. It hooks me in. Rodgers over João Pedro means you don't think João Pedro starts. Yeah. Pretty much. Can hear the pain in your voice when you say Mikalenko is the better fixture. I know. Pallister or Irwin. Saying Bournemouth fixtures from a defensive perspective are better than Arsenal is wild. Don't think I did say that. Let's talk chess. I don't think so, no. Start Henderson or Pickford. Pickford, probably still. Captain Salah or checkmate. I really struggle with checkmating people. I've had so many stalemates, so I just don't know how to get them into check at the end of the game. And I'm hoping that because I've got so many more pieces, they'll just resign. But they keep playing because they see I'm an idiot and I can't get them checked. So I just go into a stalemate. Subbing Luis Diaz in for one of Vissa, Watkins or Wood, or just in for Rodgers? Probably Rodgers. I'm pretty sure Luis Diaz will play. Oh, my rating's terrible, like 190 something 4, I think. I've gone way down. Shocking team for me, even though I've been playing for 4 years. Not sure what you mean. I will happily teach you chess if you fix my team. I'm the Danish champion in correspondence chess, by the way. It's a good deal. I'm not sure what correspondence chess means. Mad Max to subscribe, thank you. You can watch tutorials for easy checkmates with the rooks and queen. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Anyway, got to stop talking about chess because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm overall rank 1025. I don't want to mess this up. You're going to mess it up. No, I'm only messing. Try not to overthink it too much because it's difficult to stay at that rank and you'll start panicking. Maybe not panicking, but you'll start overthinking. Semenyo in for Rodgers and roll 2 transfers. I mean, that sounds great. You can get a Bournemouth midfielder for Rodgers and still roll 2 transfers and be 1k overall rank. You're in such a good position. That is not messing it up in the slightest. You've been boring and gone slot to Arteta. Nothing wrong with that at all. Did Wood to Vissa and plan Mateta to Wood in Game Week 29. Had 4 free transfers, fair enough. The captaincy has shifted. I'm not sure if I have the nerve to stick to Isak. Pretty much what happened with me. And look, the thing is, Salah's probably going to be the highest captain player by a mile. I suspect that most other players won't be hugely over 100% effective ownership, so I'm just not gonna bother risking it. Can I do a captain poll? I can, yes. Your game week 26 captain. Who do I need to put down? Who's the main people that people are looking at? Isak, Salah, and Palmer, or Burmo? Who are the top 3 do we think people are looking at? Yeah, Matoma, a few people have mentioned. I think that's very hindsight. I think that's very much recency bias, though. I Southampton, to be fair, so I do understand it. Salah and Burma, Isak. Okay, I'm going to put them down as the main 3. Trying to work out the alphabetical order between Isak and Burma. This is what I'm 200 rating in chess. You said in one of your videos you take a -4 for a manager change this week. I know, but I also said it wasn't a no-brainer. I wasn't completely sure, and I'm not completely sure, so I don't think I'm going to do it. You can put Palmer in someone else. Top 3 striker options, 6.5 and below. I'm going to forget someone. Visser, Beto, and who else is even below 6.5 that's good? So off the top of my head, Beto and Visser, definitely. 6.5. How random. Delap's not bad fixtures. I'd probably go Raul Jimenez next. Maybe Welbeck, to be fair. With Southampton away this week. Yeah, I don't mind him. Arjun, thank you. Alexander, have Rodgers and Mikalenko bench. Should I transfer Rodgers to Semenyo or Kirkes for Martinez, or just I'd probably roll. I mean, if you've got Rodgers and Mikalenko on the bench, you've got a pretty good team, I would say. Move Slot to Glasner and play Sarr. Double down on Crystal Palace. B, move Sarr to Utara and keep Slot. C, do both for -4. I don't think you need to do both for a -4. I think Sarr's okay to hold. So I'd maybe just make the manager move. I don't think I would take a hit in that case. Is Wanieri's minutes good for 29? They should be. There is some risk, but I think he'll be okay. And are we playing Greaves for 29? Hopefully not, but I might have to, yeah. Maybe in that case I won't get Chris Wood and I'll go all in on Greaves versus Chris Wood. Could be an epic outcome. Probably not, though. Yes, I would change manager if I wasn't taking a -4. I don't see why I wouldn't. I can get someone better in for free. I would probably do that. Salah has ruined FPL for the daring managers. There's always a player that does really well. I mean, maybe not Salah levels this season. I get it, right? He has been a bit ridiculous, but there's always someone that does well that means it's boring or whatever. Sorry, Owen, I did miss that. Did I miss Emery and Gakpo to Glasner and Cunha as well? I don't think so. Palmer, bench one. Palmer and Burmo, Kluivert, Utara, Visser, Wood, Isak. I've just bought Kluivert and Utara. Well, you're not going to bench them then, are you? So probably Visser or Wood. You could probably make the case Wood because of penalties, but obviously Visser's got the better fixture. Wouldn't bench any of the others. It's 27, Wanieri to Nkunku, Watkins to Marmoush for a hit. Again, I still don't think I'll be doing that for a hit, no. Probably not. I get it, right? You need to sell Watkins to fund the Nkunku move. It might pay off because of the fixtures, but I'm not sure I would do that. When to play bench boost, free hit, assistant manager, wildcard, 4 out for 29. Probably wildcard 30, assistant manager 31 to 33. Oh, yeah. Oh, actually, I don't know. No, I'd maybe play through and go assistant manager 31 to 33, free hit 34, wildcard 35, bench boost 36, and hope there's doubles in 36. Would you do Allison to Kepa Ray now or wait till 29? If you've got the spare transfer, I think it's okay to do it now. Like in a week where Alisson doesn't have a great fixture. I know he's got Southampton soon, but still. Wood or Wanieri, Chris Wood. Like yeah, definitely Chris Wood. Yeah, this Salah season is an all-timer. So I've said this before. Like Salah is obviously the GOAT of FPL, but for a single seat, like even though Salah got 303 points once, which is the record, I still think Suarez's 295 point season was better. But if Salah goes and smashes his record like 350 points plus, there's only one best ever FPL season. It'll be this one for Salah. It does help that he's had 7 penalties this year. It's kind of crazy. He's still got a ridiculous amount of goals and assists even without them, but that is definitely helping it somewhat. Although he'd still be well over 200 points even without them. He is just insane. Is it worth Van Nistelrooy from Emery? Personally, I'm not convinced it is. But if you wanted to do it for free, to chase that table bonus, don't mind it. Alex, 28 months, thank you. Chasing rank, thoughts on Mbeumo captain? Yeah, perfectly good for chasing. And slot to McKenna and Rogers to Semenyo for -4. We're not going to get any news on João Pedro, by the way. I don't know if you need to do the Rogers -4. I'd maybe just do slot to, yeah, whichever table bonus manager you want to. Is Rogers not a decent hold? He's fine to hold if you don't have transfers to get rid of him, yeah? Like, he's not must sell, but if you've got the spare move, like, just ask yourself this. If you're doing a free hit this team this week, would you choose Rogers or Utara? Sky Friday Night Football fun. It'd be rude not to. Yes, come on Mbeumo. I hope Mbeumo absolutely devastates the Ruud van Nistelrooy managers. Sorry for anyone that's gone Leicester. Do you think he overtakes Haaland as the most expensive? He has to. Salah has to be 14 million next year. Like, it's actually... Look, there's obviously a little bit of hindsight because he's done so well, but it's kind of crazy that Salah's never been... Has he been 13, actually? He might have been 13. Where's his price? No, he's only started... Oh, no, he started 2 seasons at 13 million. Kind of mad, really, considering how consistent he's been. Every season over 200 points. Over 231. Sorry, over 211. Last season was actually his worst season. This season could be his best. Yeah, obviously, if he's not in the league, then, of course, it doesn't matter. But like, we're talking if he is. Rogers definitely hauling this week. Yeah, he could, for sure. It'd be typical because he's got me no points recently and then a ton in the Champions League. I meant go for broke on the assistant managership with Glasner and make Rogers move next week. Yeah, sure. Like, if you... Yeah, you could do that. Again, I'm not looking at Rogers in my team like he's this massive problem. Would you start João Pedro or Rogers? Yeah, answer is on the screen, yeah. I would go Rogers. Although I'm going to sell Rogers probably. I just don't think João Pedro starts. So how many minutes does he get off the bench against Southampton? Is it enough? Maybe. Sells or Sanchez in goal? Well, Sanchez is not number 1 for Chelsea anymore. Slot to someone else, Rogers to Utara or Emi Martinez to Raya. Only 1 free transfer. I'd probably do... I'm doing Rogers to Utara instead of slot, so I guess I would say the same for you. You keep your transfers on free hit, yes, up to 5. But you don't gain 1 the week you free hit. So if you have 2 free transfers going into 29, then you free hit. You'll have 2 free transfers in game week 30. What do I think of Watkins captain? I'd prefer he had a better fixture. Not that Chelsea's like super difficult, but probably not for me. Mateta, Cunha or Visser in. Mateta, if you're free hit 29, otherwise probably Cunha. Are we 100% sure Haaland will start tomorrow? No. I think he probably will, but there is definite doubt there. Palmer captain. I really don't mind it. Like, Palmer's going to remind everyone how good he is sooner rather than later, I think. So definitely don't mind it. But I'm not going there. I'm just going to stick with boring old Mo Salah. I'm chasing rank in my mini league and the guy above me has slot manager. Should I go Glasner for a -4? It seems season defining. Yeah, but how far behind are you? I mean, you could do, yeah. But if you've got slot as well, there's other ways to make up points. You don't necessarily have to go different manager. There's still a lot of weeks left. I wouldn't panic too much, but it really depends on how far behind you are already, I guess. I need to change the music because I've been listening to Phoenix for an hour now. Kind of just zoned out. One free transfer, sticking with slot as assistant manager. Have Clivert and Utara with Salah captain, Palmer and Isak up front with Wood. Rodgers to Mbermo or in... I'd rather have him in Burma than Cunha, I think. Cunha's pretty good still, but... do Wolves shock us all and fend off Bournemouth? Seems like everyone is backing Bournemouth, and it may be that one trap game where they don't live up to it. Yeah, but like, as with anything in FPL, it's not about what could happen, it's what's most likely to happen. So if I gave you £100 and I said you've got to bet it on a Bournemouth win or a Wolves win, and if you get it right, you get to keep the £100, who would you bet on? You'd probably go for Bournemouth, right? So could Wolves upset them? Of course. But presumably like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times out of 10, it'd be Bournemouth, right? Start Pickford or Flecken. I think I'd go Pickford. Why aren't we discussing Mr. Howe for bonus? Bonus against who? I don't think he has bonus against anyone, really, does he? Newcastle have got Forest. It's not a bonus game. If it was, trust me, I'd be all over Eddie Howe. Like, 100%. If Newcastle had table bonus against Forest, I would be switching slot to Eddie Howe for a -4. Arjun. I don't think I missed anything, Arjun, no. Play Bruno and bench Gakpo or bench Bruno, sell Gap. I'd probably play Bruno. I've lost that question now as well. Would you start Beto or Rodgers? Beto. But one thing to kind of remember with Beto, he's probably on penalties at the moment. I think he's actually being a little bit overlooked, maybe. Maybe because it's Man United at home, and although I think sometimes there's like a weird... Perception's not the right word, but I think everyone in this chat would probably agree that Man United are not very good right now. But there's still that like psychological thing that Man United at home is not an amazing fixture. Like not necessarily one you'd be worried about playing a player in, but you wouldn't necessarily buy one for. I think Beto is actually pretty good value. Less than 5 million on penalties. The fixtures are quite good. Why is Eddie Howe not a bonus when Forest are above? You've got to be 5 places above. Trust me, I think everyone will be on Eddie Howe right now if he had table bonus. But he doesn't. To get a Glasner this week, I would have to sell Isak rather than Gakpo. I think probably is better to wait, yeah. Who is the best assistant manager for this week? Probably Arteta or Glasner if you want to go for table bonus. Would you still not take a hit for a table bonus manager if you're chasing rank? Possibly I would. Depends how far behind I am, I suppose. João Pedro to Beto is such an easy switch at the moment. I could do that instead of doing Rodgers to Utara. I could do João Pedro to Beto and just bench Rodgers, but for now I'm just going to do Rodgers to Utara. 5, he hasn't had 5. Has he had? Oh my God, Marmoush has had nearly 500,000 transfers in. That is nuts. Now look, I don't want to sit here and say that's a bad move because it may well not be. But there is also part of me that thinks if 500,000 people are bringing in Marmoush before he plays Liverpool, there's still room to do well. Like, there's still room to climb rank. Like, it might work out really well. The guy's just got a hat-trick. He's good value. He plays for Man City. It doesn't seem like... I wouldn't be in a rush to get Marmoush before Liverpool at home. 500,000 people still buying him. It's a lot of... There's a lot of active managers still. 90% of those who bought him are Egyptians, possibly. There's still an edge to be seen, I think. Slightly off topic, an email was sent to broadcasters seen by The Athletic makes clear that Tottenham do not want to be referred to as Tottenham, but rather Tottenham Hotspur or Spurs. Okay. Do people say Tottenham a lot? Maybe they do a bit, but not a huge amount, I don't think. I pretty much always say Spurs. Just quicker and easier, isn't it? I know you said I won't mess it up. Or do I do Semenyo or Shard? No, Semenyo definitely over Sharda. 100%. Yeah, make sure to give the stream a like if you're enjoying it. It'd be muchos appreciated. Hit that subscribe button as well. Why not? Doesn't take too long to do. It's completely free. Free hitting in 29. Mateta for Gatpo. Sounds great. Yeah, like that. Going to the Arsenal game this week. Gabriel captain growing after a pint or two. Lay off the beer, I would. Then again, if any there's not many defenders that are possible well, if you let me rephrase. If you're going to captain a defender, then I guess Gabriel against West Ham at home is probably one of the better ones. Am I using a chip in 29? Probably not. Currently 1.2 million. Do you think I can make 100k? Probably. What's my highest comeback season? I don't know, to be honest. I'd have to go back and look at all the ranks. I will say this. Like, there's part of me that thinks... I don't know... There is definitely still gains to be had, right? Like, I've just gone up 90k from one game week with a double. And there's going to be more doubles coming up. But I also feel like there's still a lot of chips to be played. No, I don't know. There is still room for plenty of movement. There's still like a third of the season left. City have a designated CDM in Nico Gonzalez. Finally, they'll probably dominate teams that are not elite in midfield and also prevent counters. I think I mentioned that about... I can't remember, I think it might have been about Haaland some video this week. I do think we'll probably see Man City being a bit better now. Although Real Madrid absolutely smashed them. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bit of an upturn in City. I think their results in the league have actually been okay recently as well. Hopefully, not for Arne Slot against for Liverpool, though. How am I finding this depressing Irish weather? Bring on spring, I would say. How about Arsenal's new striker, Mikel Moreno? I'd probably ignore him, to be honest, as an FPL pick. Who would you captain if chasing rank? Probably in Burma or Isak. Maybe an Arsenal player, but probably... I was on Isak a few hours ago, so maybe Isak. Burma's got the better fixture. What did I make of the Champions League draw? I think Liverpool PSG is quite nice. Nice tie that. I suspect Liverpool will win over 2 legs, but it'd be a good one to watch. Choose 2 that start. Gay, Beto, Mikalenko and Rogers. The 2 attackers. First super chat. Thank you very much. Start Bruno or Rogers. Gotta be Bruno. Come on. I mean, maybe not, because if he's playing deep, but yeah, probably Bruno. Is Palmer captain overlooked? Yeah, I'd probably say a little bit. But like, when you say overlooked, like I don't think he's better than Salah really. But maybe as one of those alternatives, he's not being as he's not mentioned as much as Isak and Mbeumo. That's probably a little bit harsh. Tom, 31 months, thank you. Enjoying Luis Diaz to Palmer and Beto for a hit. Luis Diaz will probably start, but do you know what? I quite like those moves. If you need to do Njai to Beto to fund the Palmer move, I quite like it, honestly. Is this a good week to use assistant manager? No, I'd wait now until more doubles. Trent to Gabriel to free up funds for an attacker. It depends what the attacker is. It's probably not the worst week to sell a Liverpool player, but they do have Newcastle and Southampton at home after this. Play Rodgers or Trent. Rodgers for sure. Real Madrid versus Atletico. Yeah, that's a good fixture. Also, I quite like that Villa have got Bruges, right? So, obviously, Bruges have done well. I don't know much about them, I'll be honest, right? But you think out of all the teams that Villa could have drawn, that's probably one of the better ones. Like, I was looking at the betting odds earlier, and obviously Bruges are nowhere near the top to win. Neither are Villa, to be fair, but it gives Villa a good chance to get to the next round. It is Bruges, right? I only briefly looked at it. João Pedro to Cunha or Rodgers to Kluivert. Priorities are João Pedro to leave and Kluivert to come in. Rodgers less of a problem to keep, but less upside. Jose Cunha would bench Rodgers. Yeah, I'd probably just go João Pedro to Cunha first, because you know Rodgers will at least play for you the next couple of fixtures afterwards. The fact you got Utara wouldn't really make a difference, I don't think. Is the second free hit not available yet, or is there no second? There's no second free hit. The only chip you have two of is wildcard. One first half of the season, one in the second half. There's never been two free hits. Actually, that's not true. There has been two free hits, but only when we got given one after, like, I think it was during COVID season. Bruges beat Atalanta 5-2 on aggregate. They're no mugs. Yeah, I knew when I was saying it that it was above my station in terms of knowledge, because if I'm honest, I don't necessarily track all the Champions League results or what clubs are doing in Europe. That's why I kind of backtracked a bit, but I still stand by the fact that Villa, out of all the teams they could have got, that's got to be one of the better ones, right? I'm sure if I check the betting odds, they're not near the top. No, after the World Cup was just unlimited transfers. We got a free hit one week. Fulham or Aston Villa wins. Newcastle. Oh, if Fulham or Aston Villa win, Newcastle have table bonus. What, next week? Yeah, again, I'm not saying it's easy for Villa, right? But it's better than getting Real Madrid. You get my point, surely. It's better than Villa getting Barcelona for a chance to go through to the next round. I wish I had the type of life you have. 9 to 5 is killing me. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's all like I'm not complaining, but it's certainly not perfect. Mikalenko or Trent? Probably Trent. There is part of me that thinks it'll end up being better to play Mikalenko, though. Rodgers or Beto? Beto for the penalties. When the server crashed. No, when the servers crashed one year in game week 1, we got a free wild card in game week 2. That happened once. It was either game week 1 or 2. The servers died. You couldn't make. I think it was game week 1. And so you got a wild card in the second week. But there was a season where we got a free hit. We just got given a second free hit. No. So one season there was an issue with the servers. We got a wild card in game week 2. In the World Cup year, when it was during winter, like our winter, we got unlimited transfers. Wasn't a wild card, and yeah, during COVID we got a second free hit. But this season, no second free hit. Do you have a plan to get Haaland in 29? Yes, but it involves selling Palmer or Salah. I'm not sure I want to do it yet. Start House and playing versus my striker Cunha or Castagna playing versus assistant manager. I mean, in that case, either way, it's not great, right? So I'd probably just go for the better option, who's probably Howson. In some ways, does that make going Rodgers to your Bournemouth midfielder better? It's probably negligible, I think. Wasn't the second free hit when the Queen died? Possibly, I can't remember. Maybe. It definitely happened, though. Because I remember thinking we didn't need it. Like, I didn't think FPL really needed to give it to us. Aston Villa only had Bruges or Dortmund as their draw options. Nice. Well, again, they've got a nice draw. Using my assistant manager this game week, which manager do I pick? I'd probably save it till doubles, but if you're going to use it, I'd probably go... I'd probably go Arteta. Arsenal have then got Forest away, is it next week? Yeah, probably Arteta. Maybe Pereira if you want 2 shots at table bonus. Or Glasner could be right as well. I'm wavering all the way from no hits to a -8. Classic FPL. That is classic FPL. Is Robinson better than Trent this week? Clean sheet odds, probably, yeah. Like Rob's got them down as Fulham 32%, Liverpool 19%. Looks like Liverpool versus Southampton game will be a resting game for Liverpool, possibly. But I suspect Salah will start. I suspect Trent will start. Van Dijk will start. They'll have to start 2 of Nunez, Jota, Diaz, Gakpo. Don't think you can take it for granted when you're trying to win the league. People seem to be overlooking that Fulham are coming off the back of beating Forest and Newcastle. I don't understand the Glasner appeal. But Palace is quite strong. I agree with you, by the way. I think Fulham are being a bit underrated, but Palace are also quite strong. Again, I said this quite early on in the stream. I think people are talking themselves into Palace being a little bit better than they usually would be thinking if there was no assistant manager table bonus on offer. Like, we just took FPL out of the equation. I think it was the COVID season because it annoyed people like me that kept using the free transfer during lockdown. Now, that was just unlimited transfers we got. Not a free hit for that. Bench Rodgers, they were always going to do that, though. They were always going to do that. There was no other way out of it. Bench Rodgers or Cunha. Rodgers. Took a hit for Glasner, nice. I'm going Glasner just because I'm chasing, not because I think it's the best option. That's fine, by the way. Absolutely fine. I feel like I'm trying to make a point badly. I think it's fine if you are not fully convinced by Palace, but you just want to go for the table bonus, and he seems like the strongest option. Makes perfect sense. In Burma or Clive at captain, I'd rather go for in Burma, I think. Double defence on Everton. If that's your best options, yeah. FPL Victoria's Secret, 22 months, thank you. Start Sarr or Rodgers. Sarr, probably. Slot to Arteta for free, yes. João Pedro to Cunha for a hit. Depends who you would then bench, possibly. With 1 free transfer, I'm planning not to free hit in 29. Is it worth spending a transfer on Arteta? I do have triple Bournemouth already. Well, I mean, that depends, right? How many transfers do you need to get through 29? If you think you can get through with the number you're going to have after you get Arteta in, that seems pretty good to just get him, I think. Why was the assistant manager chip first introduced in Game Week 24? It's like FPL knew there was a double. Honestly, I know that sounds a bit like a conspiracy theory, but it wouldn't surprise me if they had an inkling. Maybe. I think by the time they announced that it was going to be Game Week 24, there was already talk that Everton, Liverpool could go into that week, but I might be wrong. I might be wrong on that. It could just be a massive coincidence. Sell Emery for free. Yes, I would probably sell him for free. I think, let me just look at the odds for Villa. How strongly favourites are they? Chelsea is still slight favourites. I've been watching your stream for years and still don't know who do you think is the GOAT of football. I feel like you're just you're asking. You do know who I'm going to say because it also causes it always causes people to like have a meltdown. I mean, for me, it's clearly Messi. Like out of players that I've seen, right? I've not seen much of Pele, Maradona, etc. So I'm saying top 3 Messi, and then yeah, probably Harry Maguire, number 2. I do like Harry Maguire. Probably not second best player of all time though. Rodgers to Wanieri for free or keep. I quite like going for Wanieri, yeah. 1 free transfer. Odegaard to Mbeumo, Rodgers to Utara, slot to Glasner -8. I don't think I'd take a -8 for that. But Odegaard's fine this week against West Ham. I'd either do Rodgers to Utara and the slot move if you really want to go for the table bonus, or just one of them. No, there's no... yeah. Being a Man United fan doesn't mean that I don't watch football, and that's why I would take Messi every day. In Kunku next week, I don't see me going there, but I do quite like the punt. I like that. Harry Maguire is the GOAT. He just said it. As if there was someone with Harry Maguire. If only that was the real Harry Maguire. Eddie Howe doesn't have table bonus. Keep that in mind. I think it's not just about being above someone in the table. It's 5 places above. I think a lot of people are considering. Eddie Howe because they think he's got table bonus and he doesn't. I'll be so disappointed if you go Arteta. I think I'm sticking to slot. And it might be wrong, but I'm probably going to do it. But we'll see. We'll see. Ange. Probably not going to go there. Wood or Watkins? Watkins. Watkins. If it's to buy, probably Chris Wood because no blank 29. But if it's just to play, Watkins. No news on Haaland starting this week. Pep Guardiola said they make a late call on it. You can't use assistant manager and another chip in the same week. So if you've got your assistant manager chip active, no other chips can be used. Confident Palace will win, so slot to Glasgow is not a question. Yep, absolutely fine. Sticking to slots can be. I hate this chip. United fans, stick with Moyes as assistant manager. I'd probably switch. Do you ever think going data heavy on FPL decisions is boring? Not really. Otherwise, I guess I wouldn't do it. I just like points. However I can best get points is all I need. Getting points in FPL makes my life a lot easier as someone that creates content. I do think I've thought about this quite a lot recently-ish. I think if I didn't create content, I might play slightly differently, but not in a major way. But there'd be. I think even more. I don't think I'd necessarily change my moves massively, but I think I'd just be more confident in doing them and just forgetting about it. I do think there is sometimes some second guessing because I know I'm going to have to face up to the music later on. Take a -4 to get rid of Emery, and if so, to who? I probably wouldn't take a -4, although it's quite close. I'd probably move to Arteta if you want to play it. Go for the one of the best options for a win this week. Otherwise, Glasner for table bonus. I'm captain in Burma and playing Flecken over Ryan. Nice, good luck. Do you feel pressure to do well in FPL because you create content? I don't know if I feel pressure, but I am very aware that doing better will be better for the channel. Like, there's people that have watched my stuff like since day one and for many years that no matter how badly I do, they probably would still watch. But there's lots of people that are more interested in how well you're doing. Like, regardless of how good or bad the content is, if you're doing well, there's just people that obviously prefer that. So yeah, I'm aware of it. I wouldn't say like I feel like a massive pressure, but I've said this many times before. I would love soon to have a season where I'm doing extremely well very early because that would be very good for the channel. Yeah, Business Cat has been there since day one. Business Cat did tell me though, as soon as I have a really bad season, he's never coming back again to watch. Did say that. I'm currently playing Gordon and slot assistant manager with Rodgers on the bench. Would you stick or take Gordon out or Rodgers out? I'd probably just play Gordon. I think he's okay this week. Will Liverpool boycott the Ballon d'Or when Chris Wood wins it? It was kind of pathetic to boycott the Ballon d'Or. I also think to some extent the amount of concern people have about the Ballon d'Or is way over the top. Like, I don't know. I just can't care enough about it. And I think like with social media now, it's like this massive thing. Like if you don't win it, you're still winning trophies. You're still getting paid hundreds of thousands every week. Just don't panic about it, you know? Although, arguably, you win the Ballon d'Or, you probably make even more money. I mean, it is probably quite a nice tag to basically be called the best footballer in the world. So maybe I do understand it a bit more now. Gakpo to Mateta. I don't understand it from a fan point of view, though. Gakpo to Mateta or Ahmad to Utara for -4 Glasner assistant manager. Gakpo to Mateta I quite like if you're free hit 29, slightly less so if you're not. Ahmad to Utara is great. -4 Glasner, yep. I'm currently playing Gordon and... Oh, I did that one. Only 44 minutes left. This stream has flown by. You provide us with all the info to play well. The fact you sometimes make the wrong decisions doesn't matter. Yeah, obviously, and most people are sane enough to kind of understand that. And like, unless you're going to win FPL, you're probably not going to make every decision correct. Even if you win FPL, you probably make mistakes a few times. Can you explain why you're keeping Slot all week? It seemed like you're confident taking it. I know, Luke. I'll be honest. I'm all over the place with the assistant manager. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure. I think people have kind of talked me around to the fact that Slot's probably getting at least a draw. And if he gets a draw and I take a hit, then I need to guarantee a draw from the table bonus manager or a win from whoever I bring in. And there is a chance that Liverpool could just win. I'm not fully sure about it, but I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure. Let me think of a better way to word that. I'm fairly certain that I'm sticking, but I'm not completely sure I'm doing it for the right reasons. Yeah. Can you answer this question as part of my dissertation? Do you drink tap water? Yes. Got some lovely tap water right here. Almost never buy bottled water, to be honest. Not for the house, anyway. Maybe if you're out and about. What a scam this assistant managership is. I didn't know you can't use other chips at the same time, so now I'm screwed for the blank 29. Probably not that bad. Used to be 1.5 hour deadline streams, but 2 hours have been your regular this season. Any change in approach, and do you announce this in advance? No, not really. Don't announce it in advance. Just do 2 hours like everyone else, basically. I come from the future, Palmer blanks. Possibly. Wouldn't be the first time over the last few weeks. Filter your tap water. Think of those old pipes. I don't know. I'm still alive, I guess. Everything's out to kill you, so just drink the tap water. It's probably not that bad. Play one of Colwell, Davis, Konza, or take a hit. Spurs at home, Villa away. Villa away, Chelsea at home. I probably wouldn't take a hit. I would probably play... I might say Davis. Davis or Konza. Probably Davis, just for the attacking potential. Yeah, obviously where you live plays a big part into whether you drink tap water or not, right? But in Ireland, it's fine. Same as the UK. There are probably certain countries where you shouldn't drink the tap water, but, you know. Tis what it is. Where I am, it's fine. I haven't just seen Crystal Palace's away record. I've been reminded about it all week. It is good, but so are the fixtures they've had. The fixtures they've had have been pretty good. But to be fair, even in some of the tougher fixtures, they've got draws. So I completely understand people going for Glasner. I honestly do. Palmer captain against Villa high line. He's due a haul. Don't hate it. Can Newcastle get table bonus if they drop? No, table bonus is locked in at the start of the week. So whatever happens during the weekend won't matter. 2 transfers, Cunha, Utara, Beto, or assistant manager McKenna. Utara and Cunha probably. Business Cat going Glasner, nice. Can't believe you've never mentioned Damsgaard's name. Yeah, just not really that interested in him as for an FPL pick. I mean, who would you replace in my midfield? Bearing in mind Rodgers is going to Utara. No, Spain is one of those countries where they just drink loads of bottled water, right? Anyway, we should move on from tap water, probably. Let's go back to chess. Can I be greedy and ask you to include goalkeepers in your benching headache section? Yeah, for what it's worth, I mostly go on what people ask on Twitter, so I don't tend to get too many goalkeeper ones. And most of the time, people have got like a dud and a first choice keeper, so there's not usually a huge amount. I've done the Palmer and better move. Play one of Aina, Trent, or Luka Dean. Probably Trent out of those. Good luck with the moves. Would you play Munoz or Robinson? Excuse me, Robinson. Play Trent or Howson? Probably Trent, just because it's Trent. Would Messi be a midfielder or forward in FPL? Probably midfielder, right? I don't know what position he's playing in the MLS, but based on his career. Fluoride content here in Ireland is dangerous for cardiovascular health. Is it? Why are they letting me drink it then? I don't know. My heart's still ticking for now. I'm going to complete week 3 of Couch to 5k tomorrow if the water doesn't stop me. Where am I up to with my team? I read bottom right, risking Rodgers. Chelsea have been so poor versus Brighton in the last 2 games, but surely there's better options for Rodgers. Yeah, I'm probably doing Rodgers too, Tara. All right, I'm not talking about tap water anymore. I'm going to keep drinking it. If I'm not here for the deadline stream on Tuesday, you know it's the water. Take out Rodgers or no? I would if you got a spare transfer for someone like a Bournemouth midfielder. I don't particularly... The only way I would go Pereira assistant manager is if I need one for 26 and 27. But I think just for 26 against Bournemouth away, it doesn't feel that great. Switch assistant manager and keep Rodgers. Could always sell Rodgers next week. Yeah, definitely could do it that way around. Let's talk water conspiracies. The deadline stream goes in weird ways sometimes. If you only use the triple captainship, when would you use free hit? 29 or 34, most likely. Thoughts on slot to Glasner for a hit? I've got that same potential, and I'm not going to do it, I don't think. Yeah, lots of people asking about chip strategy. Mine's probably going to be wildcard 30-31, bench boost 33, free hit 34, and then I'm done. Triple captain, assistant manager already used. Triple captain absolutely wasted. Assistant manager so-so. I don't think I wouldn't call Imbermo captain risky. I'd call like Watkins captain feels a bit riskier to me. Even though I think he's a good pick this week, I think he's a riskier captain choice than Imbermo. Dead ending to 29, so -4 for Fabianski's Rares. I've got Allison. Yeah, I guess so. But would you end up choosing a different keeper later on? Because Allison's fine for the next 2. I guess Ray is still pretty good for 29, though, so yeah, it's probably fine. I presume the money from assistant manager just appears once the 3rd game is complete. Yeah. Although I don't know at what point the money comes back. Presumably, when FPL ticks over, like this evening, like let's say by like 7 o'clock after the deadline, it's ticked over. Presumably, we'll have our money back straight away because the assistant manager won't be there. Come in for breakfast tomorrow on the Spanish Arch. Where? Wait, is Spanish Arch an actual place, or because I know Spanish Arch is like an area, or is it a place? Like, is there a restaurant called that as well? Chip strategy: salt and vinegar with ketchup. Fork or fingers? Fingers if you haven't put too much ketchup on. Trent out for Kirkes or Howson? I'd probably go Howson for the money saving. Am I doing a park run to graduate on your couch to 5k? Does Galway have park runs? I'm not sure if Galway does have park runs, to be honest. I'll probably just run 5k, not do a park run or something, but we'll see. Why can't this be a live stream on Spotify podcast? Is there a technical reason? I don't know if you can do live streams on podcasts, to be honest. I could do it. I could start streaming to Twitch right now, but I don't think I can. The podcast do live streams? I have thought about that in the past, by the way. I don't think you can do it. I could be wrong, though. And if you can't do it, I don't see why they don't. Makes no sense to me. Is my question not a serious one, or start Rodgers or Murphy, or start both and bench Marmoush? Seems like a serious question, yeah. Thoughts on McKenna? I'm not interested. I just don't think I want to back Ipswich for assistant manager. How many free transfers do I have? 1. First time in ages it feels like I've only got 1. I don't like it. I want to go back to rolling. I did Ahmad to Wanieri. Now I feel like I should have picked Kluivert. Would you do Rodgers to Kluivert for a -4? Probably not, no. Wanieri's okay. I mean, I would have picked a Bournemouth midfielder last week instead of Wanieri if I had the money, but I think he's fine this week. Isn't a live stream podcast just radio? I suppose so, yeah. But I can't stream to BBC Radio 2. I asked if he would transfer Trent out or keep. I'd probably keep. Like, I am going to keep. For now. Anyone want some of my transfers? I've got 4 left. What a show off. 4 transfers left, nothing to do with it. Spurs haven't won 3 games in a row yet this season, so going for McKenna. What if they do win 3 games in a row this week, though? Belfast is not that close to me, though. I've Ardbea. I've heard of that. Why is there a free breakfast going? I'm only messing, by the way. I'm not looking for free stuff. I don't think I've ever been in Ardbea. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it. Oh yeah, okay. I know that place now. Right next to Spanish Arch. Damn, looks fancy. It might be a bit too fancy for me, you know. Turn up in a hoodie and joggers for a fancy breakfast. I'm more of a, sausage sandwich kind of man. Is Fulham assistant manager a good pick this game week? It's not bad, but there's no table bonus, so I probably just wouldn't bother going there. Doesn't seem exciting enough to do that. Kick, even though they have a checkered history due to being owned by Stake, do offer a better rate to creators with a 95/5 split for subscriptions. Compared to what, though? Cunha or Rodgers play one? Cunha for sure. Do. Flecken or Pickford? Pickford. Assistant manager Pereira for next 2 games. I don't mind if for next 2. I wouldn't go this week only. Brown or red sauce on sausage sandwich? Red. Not really a brown sauce kind of fan, to be honest. Start Robinson or Hall. Lewis Hall, I think. It's a really close call. Start Robinson, Rodgers or Gakpo. Or Gakpo to Cunha -4. Probably just start Rodgers. Is it bad that my captain is Clive? I don't think it's bad, no. Chelsea goalkeeper 27 and 28 rotating from Sales. I'm not sure I'd risk it. I mean, Jorgensen will probably start both. I don't think it's good enough to warrant the risk, personally. How long do we give Palmer? Until game week 29 at least. I know you're tempted by Ruud van Nistelrooy. Not massively at this point, I don't think. I did consider it, but I don't think I'll go there. If my calculations are correct, Slot gets on average 6.2 points this week. Arteta 9.3 and Van Nistelrooy same as Glasner, like 8. If your calculations are correct, it's probably right not to take a hit then. Let's hope they are. I'm going to do Rodgers to Utara probably. Emery to Glasner or a different assistant manager for -4. I'd go Glasner, I think, if you're going table bonus, honestly. If you 15 years FPL, if you won it, how would you celebrate? I don't know, but it'd be so good. It'd be so good to win FPL. The day that a different YouTuber wins FPL, my channel's over. It's dead. It'd be amazing to win. Imagine the Game Week 38 stream if I won it. It'd be so good. I don't think there's any point in hoping for that, though. It's never going to happen. Should I transfer out Ahmad now or next week when I get 0.8 million from the chip? Depends who you can afford. If you can go to like a Bournemouth midfielder or you want to go to Wanieri, it's probably worth just doing it. Football is unpredictable. Calculations don't mean much. I tell that to the very rich bookmakers. Compared to Twitch, they offer like a... Yeah, you're right, probably. But I'm probably not going to stream on either, to be honest. Not for FPL. Maybe I'll do a gaming stream at some point on Twitch. Focal was first, yeah. I think I finished ahead of him that season, though, interestingly. Like, overall. Rogers, Tashada, Wanyeri, Utara. Utara for me. Oh yeah, I know I can do a dual stream, but I don't know if there's really that much benefit. I have thought about it. I could literally click one button right now and I'd be streaming on Twitch at the same time. You can't win unless you take risks that pay off. Yeah, it's a big myth, to be honest. Jonas, who won last year, like if you look at his team for most of the season, probably didn't take a huge amount of risks. Not what people would classify as risks anyway. I'm seriously considering Potter instead of Glasgow. I just don't see why you'd back against Arsenal away, honestly. Like, again, West Ham could win. Seems unlikely, though. Gakpo out for who? No free at 29. Probably Cunha. Start 2, Rogers, Wanyeri, Cliver and Wanyeri, I think. No mention of Gabriel captain. I just don't really like captaining defenders for the most part. Not enough. Probably not enough upside for me. Trent to Kirkes for a free transfer. Probably just keep Trent. I don't think Kirkes is that great next to. If you average a 1 million game week rank all 38 games, you probably win. Yeah, something like that. I think Ben Crellin said that once. Would you start Jimenez or Rogers? Jimenez. Hertzler assistant manager is under the radar. 2 table bonuses coming up. Hertzler doesn't have table bonus this week, though. Is Timber likely to be benched this week? Presumably he'll start. I know Ben White's available now, I think, but I don't see him starting over Ben White. Not this week. Is it crazy to bring in Wanyeri ahead of Mbeumo? As always, I don't like calling people crazy, but there is no way I would buy Wanyeri before Mbeumo if you've got the money. Is it a good time to get a manager in this week? If you've already got the chip active, yes, I guess so. But I wouldn't activate my assistant manager this week. I think I am gonna keep Slot. I don't know. I think I am. I mean, there is part of me picturing that, Slot gets a draw and Glasner gets a win, and then it's huge points difference, and I obviously wish I just took the hit. But also there's a scenario where Glasner just gets a draw and Slot gets a win, and then the hit doesn't make any sense. I'm just going to hope Fulham can do me a favour. Is Rogers starting to look like a differential? Maybe a minor one, but I don't think that really matters. He's okay. He's fine for the next 3, but he's nothing special, and he blanks in 29. There is part of me that just wants to roll. I really wish João Pedro was starting. Honestly, it's such a killer to not have him for that Southampton game. Then I could just bench Rogers, and I'd love to just roll into next week. Bloody João Pedro, honestly. If he starts, it's going to be such a killer. Who's your assistant manager pick from the bonus points managers? I think Glasner. I just think because Palace are stronger than Leicester and Ipswich, even though they're away. When am I making my transfers? Probably sometime in the next 20 minutes. I'm probably just doing Rogers to retire. As always, I'm not really stringing it out for any reason other than I'm going to be on this stream for the next 25 minutes anyway, so I might as well do it late as possible, just in case there happens to be some random news from somewhere. I'm not going to get any DMs on Twitter anymore about team news because I've locked off my DMs, apart from people that I follow. So we're not likely to get any information, but you just never know what might come out, right? And there's no benefit to me making my transfers early. Like, if I was in a rush to be somewhere and I wasn't streaming, then I'd probably just do it so I didn't miss it. But I'm not going anywhere. I don't think I'm going anywhere anyway. I think I'm here. I miss having 3 to 4 transfers. The rolling days are over, especially if you dead end 29. Absolutely. I mean, some people are in a really good position for 29, even dead end, but not many. Why did I lock off my DMs? Because it's mostly just rubbish. I got sick of seeing booking.com spam bots. Like, the thing is, for me, I'm terrible at just ignoring a notification. So, like, if I get a notification, I've got a message, I'll check it. And it just kept being, like, spam bots, basically. For every like one normal message, there's probably 10 or 15 spam ones. I just couldn't bother to look at it anymore. Any hot singles in your area or regrow your hair? I haven't had a hair regrowth one on Twitter DMs, but probably should, to be fair. They obviously haven't got their algorithms correct. They're not targeting the right people if they've not given me one. Sahaj, new member, thank you. Apologies if I've pronounced that incorrectly. Rogers to Utara, or just start Wood? I'd definitely just start Wood in that case. Any KSI news? Not that I've seen. Not that I've seen so far. Can I give you a skin fade? Probably not, no. Have you given up on Blue Sky? Pretty much. I don't know. Maybe next season I'll cross post, but what's my skincare routine? Have a shower every day. Which defender should I bring in instead of Kanate? I'd probably buy. I actually don't know. 8 Nuri maybe. The thing is, I think over the next, I think between now and 29, I think 8 Nuri might be better than a Bournemouth defender for the whole 4 game weeks. But this week, obviously, Bournemouth are better. Or Arsenal, for sure. If you've got money for Arsenal defenders, like Gabriel. I've never played Gaffer, no. I don't think Blue Sky is for dull people at all. The less social media places I have to post, the better, to be honest with you. I'm too old for all of that. Too many out there. Already at -4 points, swapped Eze and Jai for Semenya Marmouche. Nice. Considering switching Emery to Glazer, but is it really worth it? I'd probably lean more towards just holding, but I definitely don't mind it. Dorgu to the moon. Dorgu for 4.5 million of Man United. Do you know what? I don't hate it. I do not hate that. Apart from Arsenal, 3 of the next 4 are not bad. And maybe at some point someone might actually pass to him when he makes a good run. There was one point in the game against Spurs where I think he was like either in or very close to the 6-yard box on an attack. And I thought, for 4.5 million, could maybe risk him. Maybe. Isak to score any time is shorter odds than Salah. Ooh. But how much shorter? Oh, gone out of focus. How much shorter, though? Because as much as that is definitely interesting information, Salah gets more points when he scores, and he's got clean sheet potential as well, although maybe not against City. But you get the point. How much to change your name legally to Let's Talk FPL? 100 grand, maybe? And Wanyeri's captain if you want to go for differential points. I think there's better. Like, basically, anyone that's not Salah is a differential captain this week. I think there's better options than Wanyeri out there. Chris Wood on the double this week. Oh, Chris Wood, could you just go back to blanking? Like, just for a couple of weeks. Just give me a break for a couple of weeks. How do I plan my chips if I haven't used any yet? You probably assistant manager. Oh God, I don't know. You haven't used any chips. I've not really thought about that. Triple captain 32, bench boost 33, wildcard 30 or 31, and then assistant manager the end of the season, like 36, 38, and hope there's doubles in 36, something like that maybe. Having a last minute urge to captain Utara. I don't hate it. Don't hate it, but I'm not going there, I don't think. I think if I come off Salah, it'll be for Mberma or Isak. Got slot, third week. Sar and Jai, 2 free transfers. Get Clive at Raul Jimenez or Utara Cunha or Frank. Utara Cunha, I think. Out of them. Win FPL or 100k on the lottery. Oh, I mean, I can't really turn down 100 grand. But you know what? You know what? If I win FPL and that lets me do this job for another 10 years, like the what's the word I'm looking for? The quality of life is not the right word, but the joy of being able to do this for another 10 years if I win FPL, that's probably worth it over the money. So I'm taking the win FPL. That is true. 50 grand a stream already, so don't really need the 100k. Don't have money for Arsenal defenders. Who should I go for? Vardio, Kirkes, Aït-Nouri, Timber. I'd be tempted to go Aït-Nouri, bearing in mind that last time everyone went Aït-Nouri, it went really wrong. But I think Pereira a bit better defensively, and I think after you get past the Bournemouth away game, Aït-Nouri's pretty good. You can earn 100 grand. You can't buy an FPL title. Yeah, honestly, I think for someone that does FPL as a living, I've got to take FPL. I've played it for 15 years. I'd have to take the FPL title. It'd be huge. Imagine the party. God, I can just imagine someone's just tuned in by accident who doesn't play this game at all is thinking, what is this idiot on about? Winning FPL, come on, and having a party. Bench 1, Robinson, Munoz or Mikalenko? Definitely not Robinson. I think Mikalenko's got a better chance at a clean sheet, but Munoz's goal for I think I would just play him just for that. Who's the longest running FPL streamer? For streaming, I think it's me. For making FPL videos, like in general, like having an FPL YouTube channel, it's FPL Tips, I would say. I'm pretty sure I was the first person streaming. I was definitely the first person doing like deadline streams, but in general, yeah, Sunday streams and stuff like that, definitely first, I think. Could be wrong. Never heard of FPL Tips. FPL Tips is the OG of FPL YouTube. Bench Van Dijk or Mikalenko, already starting Trent. I'd probably play Mikalenko. Van Dijk will probably score a bullet header now, but he doesn't have that same attacking potential as Trent. Team, Henderson, Trent, Gabriel, Saliba. Nice, double Arsenal defence. Love that. Palmer, Utara, Salah, Semenyo, Isak, Wood, Cunha, bench, Sells, Robinson. Who do I replace if any? That team looks really good to me. I think you're pretty much really well set up. You could maybe play Sells over Henderson, but it's like a coin flip almost. Eze to start over Rodgers, definitely. Yeah, probably actually. I don't know if it's a definite, but I probably would. Yeah, FPL Tips, yeah, been around for a long time. He does like I guess he does like similar videos to how Oscar does them now. Although Oscar's like obviously does streams and stuff. That's the reason FPL Tips is not like just didn't like what's the word I'm trying to say? Like someone said they don't know him. That's just because he didn't evolve, I guess, into doing like streams and stuff like that. And that just becomes super popular. And so you had to do that to kind of keep up, I suppose. Is it wrong to captain Wanyeri if I have all the other... I don't know if it's wrong, but it's probably not what I would do. Yeah, transition is probably a better word. Worth a hit to do Rodgers to Utara. I probably wouldn't do it for a hit, no. Martin, 23 months, thank you. Would you start Gordon over any of Utara, Clive, Palmer, Mateta, or Vissa? I know Palmer... No, I wouldn't bench Palmer. Maybe Mateta, because it's Fulham away, and I think it's a tough enough game, but he's on penalties, and Vissa's probably got the better fixture, so I probably would just bench Gordon out of those. Feels wrong, but I have one free transfer. Should I replace Gakpo, Slot, or Raw? I'd replace Gakpo, I think. Probably Cunha. Hopefully now I've turned this 100 grand down, I'm going to win FPL. Probably not this year, though. Every stream, you should do a quick fire round for 5 minutes, one-word answers as many as you can. I used to do that. I used to have a quick fire round, a quick fire section. I don't know if it was in the deadline stream or the Sunday stream, but yeah, I used to have that. It never ended up being one-word answers, but yeah. Can you show us your game week history page, including previous years? Yeah, I guess so, yeah. The only thing is, because of the way I've got the FPL page set up, you can't really see it properly. 123k is my current rank. That's the highest it's been this season. I was 142k a few weeks ago. Oh, look at that season. I got hacked. The hacked season. Only twice over 100k, and one of them was hacked. Absolute nightmare. I'd really like to get a higher rank than these two, 35 and 44k. Like, finishing top 50k is respectable. But when you're like 1.2 and top 10k to then get 35 and 44, slowly going downhill. Getting older, you see. Just don't have it in me anymore. Getting too old for this game. That's why I need the FPL win before I'm completely irrelevant. João Pedro to Vissa for a hit. My bench is rubbish. I'd be tempted to do that. Yeah, it's going to be annoying if João Pedro starts, but I think on current information we have to expect a bench in, right? 150k at the moment. What do you think I should aim for? You could probably still get top 20k, something like that. Maybe even higher. I've got one transfer left. Should I go Konate to 8 Nuri, or can I wait for another week? You can probably wait. Next year's your year. You just have to stick with Bruno longer. Yeah, possibly. Why not consider dropping Palmer on recent form instead of Rodgers? Honestly, that just sounds absolutely nuts to me. Like, what recent form, by the way, for Rodgers? Like, Rodgers' recent form is 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 6, and then good from like here. Like, where has this perception come from that Rodgers is better than Palmer? Honestly, I said this in Transfer Tips video or Early Thoughts, one of those two videos. I don't often say this, but I think it's objectively just a bad decision to sell Palmer now. If you already sold him and you don't want to buy him back right now, fair enough. But if you've got him in your team, I think it's a bad decision to sell him. Even if he blanks against Villa, bad decision. Gakpo to Cunha for a hit, or next game week Williams bench. I'd probably take the hit in that case. Marmoush or Cunha in for Gakpo. I think Cunha's probably the more solid pick, just guaranteed minutes, penalties and stuff like that. But Marmoush is a fun differential. 2.6 million rank. What's the highest I could finish? Probably top 100k still, if everything goes right. It wouldn't take that much to like move up the ranks quickly, but like at some point you'll probably have to start gambling a little bit. Like this week might be a good week to gamble against Salah and just hope for the best. Obviously, you could end up going massively wrong and then be 3 million next week, but do I only read comments that pay? No, clearly not. Just read yours. Hall or Howson? Howson, I think. No, I don't know. No, I go Lewis Hall. Who's close to a yellow card ban? That's a good question. Because I haven't seen anybody talk about this for a while, I'm going to guess no one important. You know, Timber, Harry Maguire are 3 away from a back. So Christie, Lukic, and Joelinton and Downs for Southampton are 1 away. Rodgers is 2 away, actually, interestingly. Yeah, Rodgers is only 2 away. I've still got the Ardbia page up for me breakfast tomorrow. That's about it, though. Delap's also on 8. No other forwards are really close. Yeah, Rodgers on 8. Interesting. Yeah, 10 minutes until deadline. Make sure you've got your decisions locked in. It's getting to that point now. I'm thinking, am I really keeping Slot? I think I am. It's going to be a mistake. It's just, again, this is what I was saying earlier about how I think if I wasn't creating content, I probably would just hold. I don't know, actually. Maybe I would switch for it. I don't know. I'd probably just hold Slot because who cares? But I know what's going to happen, right? If Slot does really bad, it'd be like, how could you keep such a boring manager against Man City away? Glasner had table bonus. It was obvious he was going to beat Fulham. Have you not seen their recent away form? Which, to be fair, wouldn't be hindsight because a lot of people have mentioned the away form to me, but I'm going to keep it. I'm going to hold. Marmoush didn't do well without Haaland in the team. Didn't do much against Real Madrid except for that free kick in minute 92. I think Marmoush is fine, but I don't see me going for him at any point. Unless Haaland's out. Then I might be a bit more tempted because of the fixtures that are coming up. Like from 29, not any sooner. I don't see me buying Marmoush before. I know whenever you get team news, you always tell your live stream viewers, but have you ever kept info to yourself? Yes, but only when it's been like after the deadline. So like every now and again, not recently to be honest, like last season probably more so, or maybe the season before, like someone might give me a bit of information about team news that's coming up, but if the deadline's gone, there's not really any reason to share it. Because all I'm going to get is grief from like football Twitter or something like that. Like I think a couple of times in the past, I've had like Arsenal or Liverpool info for like a midweek game, but the deadline's already gone. So it like for FPL decisions, it makes no difference. So I'd rather just keep it to myself than have Arsenal and Liverpool football Twitter all over me. Especially if it's like a bit of info where it's not that obvious that that player would be benched or that that player would be starting or something like that. But never for FPL, I don't think. Maybe once before I made content, but then who would I have had to tell anyway? What's my reason for holding Slot over Arteta? I've only got one transfer and I want to sell Rodgers to Utara instead, I think. Any insider info on how many points Slot scores? Just 12. Don't go Glasner. I did and now I have made a mistake. Come on, you're just pessimistic. You'll be fine. Manager Slot, Arteta or Iraola? Arteta this week, I would say. Would you bench boost Gordon, Lewis Hall, Howson and Flecken? Oh, wow. Or just wait for a double. Is that genuinely your bench? I mean, it probably is, right? Because you were asking me about playing Gordon just a minute ago. That's interesting. Would I bench boost Gordon, Hall, Howson and Flecken? The thing is, I'm too afraid to say yes because if you go and do it and then it messes up when it's a single game and we get a great double later for bench boost, it just looks bad. But honestly, for a single game, you're unlikely to ever have a better bench this season, and it might maybe it makes it easier when you end up wildcarding to not have to worry about bench boost. Just focus on the 11 mostly. I don't know. I'd be tempted to do it. The thing is, we are definitely going to have doubles in 33. I don't think there's any concerns about that not happening. It's just about how many. Munoz, Gabriel, Trent and Pickford. That's the first single game week bench boost question I've had in weeks where it's kind of stopped me in my tracks and I've thought maybe you should do it. I'd be a bit tempted, but you're not allowed to come back to me and complain when it goes wrong. Bench Palmer or Gordon? Gordon for me, I think. One free transfer left. Should you go from Damsgaard to Utara or should I'd be tempted to wait because Damsgaard's got less, so I wouldn't necessarily buy him, but if you've got him already. I've been following you for a while. My mate, Mini League Nemesis, randomly said recently he does the opposite of whatever you do because you move the market too much. I don't think I move the market too much. Maybe content creators overall have got some influence in price changes, but I don't think they've got as much as people make out, honestly. You're bottling it on Glasner because you're a content creator and you're protecting your rank over trying to win. No, I just think it's not worth the hit, basically. I mean, I haven't been as excited about Glasner as everyone else, to be honest, all week. But sure, we can go with your narrative instead. I'd play Pickford over Flecken, I think. Do you think I can win FPL if I win every game week until the end of the season, currently in place at 4 million? Probably not. You never know. Play Munoz or Mikalenko. Munoz, I think. Brentford's away form was bad until it wasn't. Exactly. You know what? You know what changed? They got some good fixtures. What's the most points you've ever benched? I'm not sure. Probably like 30 plus. Bench one, Trent, Howson, and Robinson. I'd probably bench Howson, I think. But you could, if you got it in you to bench Trent, do it, because I'm sure Man City are scoring. Everton versus Man United will be the first match in which I've got at least 2 players that I won't be watching by choice. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm sticking with Salah. I'm locked in on that. And I'm pretty sure I'm playing Anderson ahead of Mikalenko as well. You know why? Because Fulham are so good, it's going to be impossible to beat them this weekend. Impossible. There's just no way Fulham lose. I just can't see it. Griffith has it going. Going differential captain, Clive or Palmer. Don't think Salah will haul much. I go Palmer. You could argue Clive, but I go Palmer. By Cunha or Mateta. Mateta on free hit 29. Cunha otherwise, I think, for the most part. Expected points for Glasner is 8.22, while for Emery and Slot around 5.55. So isn't it worth the -4 in most reasonable probability models? Maybe. Is Glasner 8? Where's Glasner 8.22? You might be right. Oh yeah, I've only got 3 minutes. I'm going to make my transfer. Let me... By the way, we haven't even really discussed much the Evan Nielsen stuff. Utara might be out of the team at some point soon. I'm going to go for it. Okay. That's it. Does look nice with that Bournemouth midfielder there. I'm going to keep Slot, I think. I have JK, Justin Cliver, and I want to bring in another Bournemouth midfielder for Ahmad. I was 100% on Danga, but after what Arida said, I will bring in Semenyo. I think if you've got the money for Semenyo, I think it's a pretty good call. I think Utara is probably better while he's getting good minutes, but longer term, Semenyo is probably the better option, I would say. Hall or Reina, I would definitely play Hall. You're keeping Emery. Fingers crossed it goes well. Hopefully it doesn't go quite as well as Slot. Mbeumo still solid. Leicester away. That's all you need to know. Feels like I have to free hit 29, not because of the blanks, but because 8 players are playing each other in... I get that, but I wouldn't worry too much, especially if a lot of them are attackers. Wouldn't panic. Do I bench Trent, by the way? Do I bench Trent? Should have done a poll. Salah, 67% captain. He's massively popular, which is not that surprising. You should vice captain Utara. No, I don't think so. Actually, I'm more tempted to vice captain in Burma or Isaac. I'm going to leave it on Isaac. Salah's going to play anyway. Doesn't really matter. Who to play? 74% saying Trent. Okay. Okay, I think I'm locked in then. I think I'm keeping Slot in the most boring... Maybe this is the most boring decision I've made all season. Might be. Should have probably taken a hit. Salah or Iza. I'm going Salah. Trent subbed on 61 minutes, locked in, clean sheet. That would be nice. Just driven 270 miles just in time for the deadline. You could have just not driven 270 miles. The deadline would have still happened. Palace going to win. If they do, fair play to anyone that went Glasner, especially... especially if you took a hit. Fair play. I'm just gonna so far I've not done I've not taken any hits this season, so let's see how long we can go for. Keeping Bruno was more boring. Keeping Bruno was great. You lot just didn't appreciate how good he was. Your team is always unexciting. I've got Wanyeri, man. I had Wanyeri before well, not before everyone else, before a lot of people. Come on, give me some credit. I mean, I was basically forced into Wanyeri if I didn't want to take a hit. But forget about that part. Let's just say that I made a super exciting move. Mateta brace would be so sweet with Glasner coming in. You know what else would be sweet? A Fulham clean sheet. Oh, Fulham clean sheet. You don't know how much I want that right now. 6 points and Glasner getting a draw at best. Come on. Come on, Anderson. Do your thing. Before you all run off, make sure to hit subscribe if you haven't done so already and like the stream as well. It'll be much appreciated. Sitting at 1.1 million, what overall rank think I can get? Probably top 100k still. Long way to go. Long way to go. All right, I need to do a quick... sleeper draw. So 2 people got 9 predictions correct for game week 25. So I'm going to do the draw and then I will message you after the stream. So I'm going to message Duke YZ, Dukies maybe. I'm going to message you after the stream to get your email address for the £50 Amazon voucher. By the way, there's still some people that have won in previous weeks that haven't messaged me back. You'll see a message from me on the Sleeper app. If you haven't already got your picks submitted for Game Week 26, link in the description below. Another voucher on offer this week. I stuck with slot 2. Sometimes boring isn't necessarily bad. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Wasn't last week the highest single week scored? Not sure what you mean. Your videos are always class. Thank you very much. Switch up the captain next week. Yeah, I'm going Palmer next week. I'm locked in on that. FPL is still not locked. You sure about that? Oh, yeah. Hang on. Someone make a move. Do you know what? It's tempting me to move Slot to Glasner now. Or to Arteta, because imagine the chaos. They did this after the deadline. Imagine if I move to Glasner and he wins, and Palace win. Like the outrage. Oh, he did it at 6:32. Take those points off him. Slot and Salah captain, you boring man. Yeah, but I'm a boring man with £2 now, aren't I? So you know, thanks for that. Slimy compliment. You were so good on Fantasy 606 that I thought you were part of the crew until about last 15. Was I? I'm not sure I was that good, but thank you. I always feel like I'm pretty rubbish on other people's stuff. Move my bench and confirmed it's still open. I don't want to move my bench though, because if it then locks, that'll be a nightmare. Someone got over 200 points last week. Did they? No, surely not. I absolutely adore you. Do more videos on your other channel, please. I don't know what to do though. I don't know what to do. Move my vice captain. Yeah. Looks like it's still open. Terrible. Do I just stay live until they hit the button? It's a sign, yeah. A sign to do slot to Glasgow. I think I'm going to stick though. I've made my decision. You know, I'm going to keep my integrity in check. Is it locked now? No, it's still open. I don't know what to do. When you told us just to start, yeah, I know, but like I did start, but now I've got to continue. That's the problem. I don't know. I'm more likely to start streaming games than doing YouTube videos on them, I think. Someone just said it's closed now, but it's not. Not closed, still open. You might be right about 200 points, but I don't think so. 155 last week, 201 in game week 24. Oh, if only, oh, do you know what would be amazing? It would be FPL have just set me up for a good tweet. Well, not a good tweet, but like an obvious tweet. Well, it was 155 last week, 201. Do you know what would be amazing if this was last week, and then we found out that Brighton had started João Pedro? Like, imagine if we get news that like Mbeumo is not starting and it's still open. Like, I'm going to take him out for a hit. I don't know who for, but I probably will. I know it's after the deadline, but I last minute bench Van Dijk to Mikalenko. Thoughts? Yeah, I think it's okay. It's not after the deadline anyway. Maybe we can still see the site, but actually the deadline has passed and we don't even realise. Maybe it'll just remain open the whole time. And the transfers won't count. You don't know what to do about Emery, please help. I'd probably hold him unless you got the free transfer. You do long walks every day, film that. Yeah, but then you got to talk about something the whole time. I don't think you just want to see me walk. Void the season, absolutely. Yeah, I would definitely void this season. Doesn't count now. Doesn't count. Make a move that's one chance on a million to do a move after deadline. Be a part of history. Do it for Glasner. Nah, I'm gonna stick. FPL are just lining up tweets. They've just got such obvious replies. You shouldn't have tweeted. Maybe we can get João Pedro new. Nah, João Pedro's not playing tonight. He's playing tomorrow, right? I'm not really regretting not going Glasner, to be honest. I'm kind of fairly chill with my moves this week. For the second week in a row. Have you done your fantasy challenge team? I haven't done that at all this season. I don't think it's locked, no. The FPL page is still working. I do need to take a screenshot, though. For, have I frozen? Hopefully not. Need to take a screenshot for, you know, Twitter and Instagram purposes. As you do. Do I just sit here until the deadline's done? Guarantee if you made a change, it would go through for next game week. That would be quite funny. If it gets team news, I'm 100% taking a -4 for a Brentford starter. You've got 6 minutes. Chasing Minley, Welbeck, Sharda in, Clive at captain. Nice, good luck. What the hell do we do now? I guess we just wait. Yeah. Got nothing better to do. I heard if you 15 transfers after the deadline, you get your triple captain back. You should try it. Let me know how it works. Andy at 4 in the morning with the deadline still going. I'll still be sat here. I might as well wait till team news now. It's only 5 more minutes. Does anyone need specific team news? Probably not, right? Oh, it's a real shame. It's not like obviously they wouldn't have this on a Friday night, but if it was like Man City Liverpool, and then we found out that Haaland wasn't in the squad, and they're like, well, I'm definitely keeping Slot now. I'm bringing in Burma once he's scored. Imagine Vissa bench. He won't be benched, but just imagine. No, it's still not locked. No one's getting fired. Come on, don't be so dramatic. It happens. It's all automated, right? It's just something obviously technical's gone wrong. Bench Cunha, Palmer, or Wood. I love the fact that people can still ask these questions, like, genuinely. I would probably bench Cunha or Wood. Probably Cunha. Site is open, but transfers and changes are locked now. Is that true? Oh, yeah. Yeah. You're right. I can't change vice captain anymore. Oh, I can on this page. Hang on. I don't want to... Yeah, I'll refresh it a sec. Yeah, like if I try and... Oh, no, I can. That's weird. On the other page, I can't do that. Oh, no, I can. That's really weird. I didn't have the change vice captain button just a minute ago. No, I don't think the Brentford game's been called off. I think we'd know about that by now. I'm going to go after the teams have been... In fact, do you know what? While I'm waiting, I'm going to message... I'm going to message Juki about the voucher. Otherwise, I'll forget, and it'll be like 2 days before I do it. Salah bench. That seems pretty unlikely. If it stays like this, you could actually make a transfer when someone scores. That would be hilarious. But I suspect it'll be locked before that. Let me just send Duke YZ. You won the Game Week 25 competition. Congrats. Just need... Oh, hang on. Just need your email address to send the voucher. Boom. There you go. If Jukies is watching, you should have it. Oh. Yeah, sent. 16 hours till deadline. do. Alright, lineup's about to come out anyway. Another minute. In this day and age, wonder why they got to take offline to lock the site. That will always confuse me. No idea. It's a sign from God, Captain in Bermo. There is part of me that wants to do something like that, just because you got to do it after that. I'm just going to play very boring. Is this the first time it hasn't locked? No, I think it has happened before, but not for this long. Change to ease that there. Vardy starts. I think given the opportunity of changes post on, you have to take it. It's a free option. No, it doesn't make any difference, right? See the team news on Twitter. That's where I always check it anyway. In Burmo does start, so does Visser, Shard. It's basically the team you expect. Flecken in goal. Aja? I don't know how you pronounce that, actually. Collins, Pinnock, Lewis Potter, left back, Norgard, Janelt, Damsgaard, Shard, Visser, and Burma. Basically the same team as usual, pretty much. Another free hit compensation, possibly. Possibly. People want to go against Silver, who beat Forest and Newcastle. Yeah. But obviously it's because it's table bonus, right? Statistically, you should have better options if you do a change now, since you have an advantage you usually don't. But what advantage do we have? There's no extra info. Right, I'm off. There's no. I don't think there's. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That makes much more sense. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't think there's any point in sitting here until it's closed, right? JH says I missed a super chat. No, all the FPL tweets will be scheduled. There won't be someone sitting there hitting the button. Although someone is retweeting the lineup, so there must be someone online. Sorry. Pickford, Kirkes, Gabriel, Robinson, Salah captain, Clivert and Burma, Rogers, Visser, Isak, Wood, Palmer and Trent on the bench. Wow. I would 100% play Palmer over Rogers. You've still got a chance to change it. There's no way I'd play Rogers over Palmer. Yeah, lineups are available, but Brentford and Leicester make no difference, right? I'm thinking about whether to change slot to a different manager for a -4, so lineups don't help me. Like, for my specific team, the deadline still being open makes no difference. Game week 26. Locked. Rogers. No news on João Pedro. Bench Palmer or Beto. Beto. Palmer. If you've got Palmer, you're playing him this week. There's no one I would bench Palmer for, I don't think. If this is the only year the chip is available, I'd say just go for the table bonus. I don't think I'm going to. Right, I've tweeted my team out. I think I'm going to shoot off. If you enjoyed that stream, make sure to give it a like and hit that subscribe button. I don't want to wait until the deadline's over. I could be here for ages, and I want to go and eat dinner and stuff. So thanks for watching. I will catch you again on Sunday. I don't know if I'm going to stream on Sunday, just because there's a quick turnaround. So I might just do a video instead, but I'll decide that. Take one for the team. Test if you can make a move. Nah, I don't think so. Jason, new member, thank you very much. All right, I'm off. Enjoy your weekend, and I will catch you one way or another on Sunday. Alex, I don't know what you mean by it's free. It's still going to cost me hits. Like, anyway, I think you're way too excited about this. You need to do it for your own team. A watch along for Leicester Brentford, no chance. Right, thank you very much for watching. I will catch you again soon-ish if I can close the stream here. There we go. See you later.